So it seems like Insta360 has really stepped up as a company ever since their first 360 camera. And now that they're getting into the action camera market, it seems like products like the Insta360 ONE R Leica edition has become a real viable option for action cameras. However, is it enough to dethrone the action camera king, GoPro HERO9? Let's find out. All right, first let's talk about the Insta360 ONE R Leica mod. I love this camera. Like, everything that comes out of it, photos and videos, looks so good. And I think that 1-inch sensor really helps improve the image quality. The camera itself is super easy to use, touchscreen interface, big record button on the top, power button right next to it, self-explanatory. I love the fact that it's modular, so if I don't want to use the Leica mod, I could totally get the 360 mod and turn this into a 360 camera. You can also connect it very easily to your phone by using the Insta360 app. And with that, you can actually view what the camera sees, as well as make some additional changes to the camera itself. As for the internal mic of the camera, I mean, it's okay. I mean, for an action camera, it's what you'd expect. But if you do want to capture better audio on the Insta360 ONE R, there is an adapter that you can use to connect an external mic to the camera. So now we're doing an audio test comparing the internal mics between the GoPro HERO9 and the Insta360 ONE R. And just for reference, here's the audio coming from the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus attached to the Sony a7S III. Now obviously the audio coming from the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus is going to sound better because it's an actual microphone, where the internal mic coming from both action cameras, I'm going to assume that the audio isn't going to sound as good. But this is a comparison, and this is what the audio sounds like coming from the GoPro HERO9. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. And now here's the audio coming from the Insta360 ONE R. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Now, as far as image quality on the Insta360 ONE R, oh man, it is so good. Like, that 1-inch sensor like really comes in a clutch. I mean, don't get me wrong, the images coming from the GoPro HERO9 for photos and videos are really good too. And if you're outdoors and it's daytime, then both cameras are gonna produce very similar results. But when it comes to filming in low light, then the Insta360 ONE R is gonna be better. What I love best about the Insta360 ONE R, other than the superb image quality, the wider field of view thanks to that 1-inch sensor from the Leica mod, but I really love the stabilization. It's freaking amazing. Like, it doesn't do it within camera. You have to process the stabilization in post by using the Insta360 Studio. So there is an extra step, but the stabilization on the Insta360 ONE R is vastly superior than the GoPro HERO9's hyper-smooth stabilization. What I do like about the GoPro is that you have that mounting system already attached to the camera. You just kind of flip it from the bottom and it's ready to go. Where with the Insta360 ONE R, you have to attach a cage to it first, like you would a traditional action camera, and then mount it to a car mount or a helmet mount and things like that. To me, that's not too much of a big deal, but it is very handy just having the mount already built into the camera. And also, if you do attach the Insta360 ONE R to a cage, you have to take out the lens filter first, because it's just not gonna fit. I don't know if I really like that, because it just kind of slows down my work process. I mean, not the end of the world, but you know, still, if I'm working fast and have to capture the shot, I don't want to have to unmount the lens filter, attach the cage, close the cage, and then put the filter back on. Like, I get it, you get a wider field of view, but also time is money, man. And then with the GoPro HERO9, it's just that much faster. No need to attach a cage on it. Get the little locking screw. Like, that is so much better. I think action cameras should just have that as a standard. So easy. The GoPro Hero 9 I love as well. Image quality is good. You have the front facing screen, which is really nice so that if you want to vlog, then you can see yourself. It also has touchscreen capabilities, which is really nice. And I love the bigger screen on the GoPro Hero 9. And it does make it easier to navigate through the menu, where the Insta360 ONE R has a tiny square screen. Like, I get it because it's a modular camera, and so the screen has to be small. And if you do want to see yourself as you're vlogging with the camera, then you can actually turn the screen around because the camera is modular. So both cameras do offer a back screen as well as a front facing screen as well. But if I had to pick, I would say I prefer the bigger screen of the GoPro Hero 9, just for obvious reasons. This just makes it a lot easier to navigate through the menu. With the GoPro Hero 9, what you see is what you get. You don't need to add any modular things to it to turn it into a 360. That could be a good or bad thing for you, but that's definitely a plus for the Insta360 ONE R. Because it's modular, you can have this little setup be multiple cameras. Now both cameras have different features, which are all really cool. For example, the Hero 9 has that scheduled time-lapse thing, so that if you want to take a time-lapse of the sun rising, you don't have to wake up so early, set up the camera, and then do your time-lapse. Like, you just schedule it and it'll do it for you. Pretty cool. The Insta360 has different features that are just as cool, like this really cool in-processing thing that makes an image look really, really good. Like, it's pretty awesome, and definitely steps up the photography game when it comes to action cameras. As far as usability, I would probably say the GoPro Hero 9 is easier to use. I mean, again, a big reason for that is the bigger screen on the back, and the fact that there's also a front-facing screen. Like, you don't have to like flip the camera body around like the Insta360 ONE R. You get the back screen and the front screen, which is very handy. Both cameras can connect to your phone with their corresponding apps. They're both super easy to use. You can change your camera settings quite easily. You can update the firmware on your cameras through the app. So as far as connectivity from the camera to your phone with the app, both cameras did extremely well. Now, which camera do I think is better? I don't know. I mean, I love them equally and differently. There's pros and cons to both, and it really all comes down to preference. If you're looking for a camera that has the best image quality, the best stabilization, has a wider field of view, and looks really good in low light, then the Insta360 ONE R Leica mod is the action camera for you. If you're looking for a camera that's super easy to use, especially with features like the built-in mount at the bottom of the camera, a front-facing screen, a large touchscreen in the back for easier navigation, and other cool features like scheduling your time-lapse, then definitely go with the GoPro. Both cameras are really great. You can't really go wrong with either or, so really it all comes down to preference. So there you go. That is my comparison between the Insta360 ONE R and the GoPro Hero 9. Both great action cameras. I don't think you can go wrong with either or, but there you go. Look at you. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm working on a very special video coming out very soon, so stand by for that. It has to do something with the new iPhone, something like that. It's gonna be really cool, so stand by for that. But thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out. Be good, be safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!